After living with my foster family for 11 years, they are now kicking me out without any notice. I have nowhere to go, and I feel completely broken. To add to this, I've been reflecting on everything that has happened. When I was 7, I was taken away from my biological family and placed under the care of a couple I'll refer to as the Peters. Over the years, I started to see them as my real parents. However, when I turned 12, they made it clear that they would never adopt me legally. They explained that this was because they relied on the fostering allowance they received for taking care of me. They always assured me that legal paperwork didn't define a family, and I believed them without question. Today, I found out they were receiving at least $2,800 per month to foster me. But now that I've turned 18, the allowance has stopped. They sat me down today and bluntly told me that I had to leave. They explained that for them, fostering is purely a business, and it doesn't make financial sense to keep me if they aren't getting paid. They generously offered me 4 days to pack up and get my things in order. They even mentioned that they need my room to take in a new foster child so they can keep their business running. Despite all this, they said they still want to keep in touch and hope I understand that it's nothing personal. Update: it's been a few days, and honestly, I'm still in shock. Yesterday felt like a blur, and maybe today does too. I didn't sleep well last night, only managed about 2 hours, so I'm probably still a bit out of it. The first thing I did was contact my personal advisor. We've arranged an emergency meeting at 1:30 today, so I should have more information about what will happen to me soon. Hopefully he'll be able to help me find some emergency accommodation. I've been thinking a lot about whether the Peters can legally give me just 4 days notice to leave. This is definitely something I plan to discuss with my personal advisor PA to get his advice. While I don't want to stay here any longer than necessary, the way they've treated me since delivering the news makes me feel invisible. They barely acknowledge my presence, don't talk to me, offer me food, or provide anything else. I even tried starting a conversation with them once, but they completely ignored me. Despite this, I'm not leaving until I have safe accommodation secured. I refuse to be made homeless. I've also considered reaching out to my university. I've received a conditional offer dependent on my A-level results. I hope to meet those requirements, but since I'm not technically a student yet, I'm unsure if they can provide any support right now. Additionally, I plan to make sure that the staying put allowance stops, as it should no longer be given if I'm not living with the Peters. Fortunately, I've saved some money. Some people have mentioned that I might be eligible for a bursary once I start university, and my maintenance student loan should help as well. I've already started looking for a job. Update: I had a long meeting with my PA, and he was very sympathetic and upset by how the Peters have treated me. After our initial meeting, I took a break to grab some food while he spoke to the Peters directly. When we met again, he updated me on the situation. He's putting me on the list for social housing, and I'm hopeful that it won't be long before I have my own place. I recorded the meeting since I'm severely sleep deprived and struggle with memory and processing due to my dyslexia and autism. I'll listen to it again tomorrow after some rest, but from what I remember, they're going to help with rent costs, and I'll also receive some money for furniture and essentials. When my PA spoke to the Peters, I'm not sure if he told them they had to keep housing me for a while or just asked them to, but they've agreed to let me stay until the end of August, giving me over a month of security. I don't have to worry about everything happening in just 3 days anymore. My PA mentioned that if I start feeling too uncomfortable, they can move me into a youth hostel while they wait for a property to become available for me. But I told him that I'd rather stay with the Peters until I'm ready to move, even if it's a bit uncomfortable. On a completely different note, my best friend and I had a huge argument earlier. He accused me of being ungrateful to the Peters and said I should understand that not everyone wants to raise a child that isn't theirs. According to him, even if the Peters were doing it for the money, they still provided me with a home and food until I turned 18, and I should appreciate that. His words really hurt me. I thought, out of everyone, he would understand what I'm going through. But maybe I'm being unreasonable. I am extremely tired, and my emotions might be getting the better of me right now. I plan to talk to him tomorrow after I've had some sleep, and I hope this argument will blow over because I really need him right now. I don't feel like I have anyone else. Update: the Peters' son, Jamie, found my original Reddit post. I guess I should have been more careful with the details, but my mind was so frantic when I wrote it that I wasn't thinking clearly. I'm not sure how he found it, but with almost 10K upvotes, and since Jamie was the one who introduced me to Reddit, it might have just popped up on his feed. A few hours ago, Jamie came to my room, showed me the original post, and asked if I had written it. I tried to deny it at first, but I'm a terrible liar, so he knew. He asked why I didn't tell him about what was happening, and I told him I thought he knew. He was genuinely shocked and appalled by what he read in the post and said he would not have supported his parents throwing me out if he had known the full story. He had been told that I requested to move out. Against my wishes, he shared the post in the family group chat, but he did it because he wanted to defend me. I really think you should read this and understand the impact this is having on me, but I really wish Jamie hadn't shared my post. Both of you have read the message, but neither of you has responded. I haven't left my room since, and I'm feeling extremely anxious, like I'm on the verge of a panic attack. I can feel it coming. Update: this is what I'm thinking of sending in the family group chat to Matt and Claire. I came to you as a 7-year-old, a child who had never known love, affection, or anything remotely kind. I was taught at a young age to fear authority, to fear the sudden changes in my birth parents' moods. I learned to bottle up my emotions and pain and never show them. When I first came to you, my life was ruled by fear and anxiety. I know my behavior back then was difficult, even challenging. I had been taught that there were no consistent consequences, sometimes none at all, and other times harsh and terrifying. The most confusing part was that the reactions were never predictable. I could do something one day and be praised by my birth family, only to face the opposite the next. Love, as I knew it, was not freely given but had to be earned. It was conditional and shallow. But you both showed me a different way. You showed me love and affection, and at first, it was confusing and hard to understand. I couldn't see myself as anything more than a burden. I couldn't understand why someone would love me, and I couldn't comprehend why you weren't hurting me. Do you remember when I told you that it was okay to hurt me if I was naughty? I said I wouldn't mind. But slowly you taught me to trust and to love myself and those around me. You showed me that no matter what I did, you wouldn't give up on me. You wouldn't send me away or hate me, even when I tried to push you away out of fear. You made me realize that it wasn't my fault I was in care and that I wasn't to blame for what happened with my birth family. You provided me with appropriate outlets for my fears and showed me love, compassion, and kindness. The first day I truly felt safe was when I was 8 years old, sitting in your arms while we watched Shrek. To you, it probably felt like just another day, but to me, it's a pivotal memory in my life, a moment that shapes how I see myself. You stayed up with me when I was anxious about starting secondary school. You comforted me when my birth mom told me she no longer wanted to be a part of my life. You were there when my first girlfriend broke up with me at 15, and it felt like my world was ending all over again. You encouraged me to push myself in my studies and apply to university. Most importantly, you showed me that I was worthy of love and respect. You never gave up on me, and I am who I am today because of what you did. When I look at myself, I see compassion, care, and kindness, and in those traits I see you. You weren't my birth family, but you were my family, my only family. I don't know what changed. Why has there been a shift? Why have you gone from the loving and caring parents you were to this? I don't know what to expect when I leave my room now. I no longer feel the love and kindness that once lifted me from the depths of despair as a child. It's as if you've completely changed the way you see me, and I just can't understand why. A few days ago, you told me I had to move out, giving me just 4 days' notice to leave my family. You sent me spiraling back into feeling like that lost 7-year-old again. I'm not saying this to guilt you or to ask you to let me stay. That moment has passed. Sadly, I don't think I'll ever be able to see you the same way again. I understand if you were struggling financially or wanted to help another child like me, but why didn't you talk to me? Why did you spring this on me and then act as if I didn't matter? Why tell me it's just business? Did you think that would make it hurt less? Since you told me, my whole life has been turned upside down, and I don't know how I'll make it through to the other side. If I had felt like this a few weeks ago, do you know who I would have turned to? I would have gone to you. I would have told you my worries and fears, and you would have said exactly the right thing, and then we'd sit together and watch some awful TV show. And now, I have no one again. It feels like I'm being told, for the second time in my life, that I don't deserve a family, and this time, there's no one to catch me when I fall. That was always you, Mom and Dad. It was always you I could rely on. Why are you giving up on me now? Update: my PA is letting me store the things I can't take with me in his garage, which is kind of him. He's found me a place at a local hostel, where I'll have my own room. That was a big deciding factor for me. The hostel works with the local authorities and houses a lot of foster care leavers while they wait for their own homes. I haven't sent the message yet, but I know my foster brother Jamie has seen it. Yesterday, I was overwhelmed with emotions. Today, I feel nothing. I don't know which is better. I'll send the message once I've moved out. I have a room, so I'll be gone in a few hours. I still haven't spoken to them, but I just can't face it anymore. I'm sick of feeling anxious and stressed about this. Update, I've just left the Peters house for the last time. The room is ready for me at the hostel. I feel so strange, sad, and lonely. I've ordered myself a pizza for dinner, and my PA even paid for it. I just want to crawl into bed and cry. My mind is spinning with everything I need to do. I also found out the exact amount the Peters were paid for caring for me, $2,000 every fortnight. That's $52,000 a year, just to raise me. I keep thinking about that number. Was that all I was worth? Or update, I'm settled in the hostel now. It's far from luxurious, but at least I'm here. I sent the text message and then left the group chat. I also posted it on Facebook. Final update, this is going to be my final update on all of this. Claire called me crying, saying she had no idea I felt this way. How could she not know? She apologized and begged me to come back. God, how do I ruin everything? She was telling me all these things about how much she regrets the past few days and wishes she could take it all back. I told her it's not fair, she can't throw me out and then call me crying. I said it's manipulative. She just kept saying she was sorry, that she loves me and wants me to come home. Jesus, this is all a lie, right? She must have known. Am I the bad person here? I feel so confused, I don't know what to do. I just hung up on her, and then she started texting me, so I blocked her. But now I feel like I'm the bad person here. I'm so tired of all of this.